After defeating the Endsinger and saving the universe, you head back to Old Sharlayan where Cryo asks for your and Grahatia's help with her latest task. Cryo goes on to explain that the students of Baldesion were created by her grandfather Galef to uncover the mysteries behind Hydaelyn, and after Endwalker that goal is complete. However, they have a secondary purpose, which is to create countermeasures against threats like the Crystal Tower during a Realm Reborn. And this is their primary purpose now. This leads to Cryo asking you and Graha to handle a preliminary survey request from Rambros, who is a part of the Sons of St. Quinach. After hearing that your friend from your Crystal Tower adventure needs your help, you and Graha travel to Revenant's Toll to help him. Upon meeting Rambros, he explains that an adventurer named Derek has claimed that he has found the Phantom Realm that has been mentioned throughout the history of Eorzea, even though it has never been proven to exist. Following this, Rambros takes his leave and our duo finds Derek and his baby Oppo Oppo. After meeting up, Derek takes our heroes to the Phantom Realm through an invisible entrance on the edge of Lake Silvertear. Our group enters a place Derek calls the Amphalos that sits above the clouds of Lake Silvertear in the Phantom Realm. Derek then asks our heroes to help him understand who created this place and for what reason. After investigating, Graha realizes that Amphalos would have been destroyed in the Battle of Lake Silvertear in 1.0, meaning that it was displaced in reality. In addition to this, it is also a place of worship for the 12 gods of Eorzea, and Graha believes that this is worth investigating, so he plans to report his findings to Cryo and request help to do a proper investigation. However, at that moment, the gods of lightning Rauger and Birgat, in addition to the gods of fire Nal Thal and Azima, appear in front of our group. The gods explain now that Hydaelyn is gone, they are the rightful rulers of the planet, but the Warrior of Light's presence is in the way, so they challenge you to a trial where you will face the four of them for mankind's right to continue forging its own path. After this conversation, Graha states that he believes the gods aren't telling the whole truth, but will worry about that later and goes back to Sharlayan to inform Cryo about the situation, while Derek stays behind to guide you through the realm of the gods because he explored them before contacting you. After this, you fight your way through Aglaia, defeating the previously mentioned gods. When you and Derek return to Amphalos, Graha and Cryo arrive, but your conversation is interrupted by the gods you just defeated. The gods explain a few things. First, they were acting and mean humanity no harm. Second, they aren't primals and don't drain Aether from the land. Third, Louis Suard didn't summon them to defeat Bahamut at the end of 1.0. That was a primal born from the prayers of Eorzea. And lastly, the 12 have their own wish, which can only be accomplished by battling you. Then they leave. Following this, your group splits up, with Cryo staying in Amphalos to investigate while everyone else explores places of work like Rauger's Reach, where your group finds out that the gods are older than the religions that praise them and influence the appearance of primals like Ramuh. Then your group heads to the sunken Temple of Quan to recruit a Sharlayan mythology expert named Snogim. After explaining what has happened so far, she joins the team and you all return to Amphalos to reunite with Cryo. Then our heroes have a discussion where they establish three mysteries. What is the purpose of the monument in the center of Amphalos? What is the purpose of the gate with no element attached to it? And most importantly, why have the gods decided to show themselves to mortals now? Following this, our group decides to take a break and split up until Graha and Cryo could resume fieldwork. So you dedicate your time to other adventures until you return to Mordona, where Derek informs you that Graha and Cryo are on their way to continue this adventure. When they arrive, they bring an etheric analyzer to collect data on Amphalos and the other heavenly realms. Following this, your group reunites with Snogim in Amphalos, where she informs everyone that the message written on the middle of the monument is incomplete and suggests that you continue fighting the gods to get that information. After this, your group opens up the gate to the heaven of earth and the goddess Nafika appears, explaining to our group that by battling more gods, they will get the information they want. Following this, you and G'raha make your way through Euphrosyne, defeating various gods. After this, the 5 gods you just faced, Afflic, Nemea, Halon, Nofika, and Mefina appear and explain that to finish the message on the monument, your group will have to travel to the marks of the 12 scattered around Eorzea. This leads our heroes to split up with the 9 gods you've defeated to travel to some of the marks. Your group consists of Derek, Halon, and Mefina. Then your group gets what they need from the marks of Thalic, Halon, and Mefina. However, because of how Cryo was acting, your group goes to the Heavnesward to check in on her, but it turns out to be nothing, with her explaining that she wants to be more independent and see more of the world like the Warrior of Light. Following this, everyone returns to Umphalos, where the gods return to their personal sanctum, and our heroes figure out a couple of things after getting information from the Center Monument. They find out that the gods were originally Venat's comrades during the final days, and they purposefully became gods over the years due to the influence of Dynamis, helping Venat guide Aetheris so humanity would be strong enough to defeat Meteion. In addition to this, they also figure out that there is a 13th being who is on the same level as the 12, and they conclude that it is the Watcher on the moon. Following this, everyone decides to split up and take a break, so you go off to handle other obligations until you return to Mordona, where Derek wants to check on Snowgim. So your duo enters Umphalos, where Snowgim informs you that each god requested to talk to you individually. Side note here, your patron god will acknowledge that you chose them when you first created your character and say something unique. After talking to every god, G'raha and Cryo return to explain that when you fought the gods, their essence was diluted due to how much aether they used. So before our heroes proceed any further, Cryo recommends that we talk to the Watcher on the moon. So that is what our group does. The Watcher explains that he and the 12 were ancients who were chosen for their specific duties by Venat to help guide Aetheris, which led to them becoming the godlike beings they are now. In addition to this, mankind's prayers can influence some aspects of the 12, like Halon becoming more warlike because of the Dragon Song War, but they still have their own personalities like the normal people that they used to be. Then the Watcher continues to explain, now that Hydaelyn is gone and the final days have been averted, the gods have decided on what their fate will be and that their wish won't harm humanity. After getting this information, our heroes return to Umphalos, where Lemian and Thalic appear before them. Then Derek reveals that he is the final god within the 12, Oshan. In addition to this, Oshan explains that once our heroes get past this final test, the 12 will explain what their wish is. So you make your way through Thaleia, defeating the 3 previously mentioned gods. However, after that, you're led back into Umphalos, and the gate with no element is open, and it leads to a fusion of the 12 gods, Eulogia. After taking down this final challenge, the rest of our heroes catch up, and Eulogia tells the truth about their wish. Eulogia goes on to explain that they wanted to expend their aether so it could return to the planet and grow new life. In addition to this, their cores, or essentially the ancients that they used to be, will enter the life stream to be reborn, so they won't completely disappear. Next, the arena you just fought in will act as an instrument that will answer mankind's prayers in their absence. And lastly, in the final days, mankind showed their collective love for the planet, and they wish to do the same for mankind. Then Eulogia fades away. However, before the 12 enter the life stream, Oshan has second thoughts as he hears the baby Oppo cry out for him. So the other gods encourage him to go back and live his life as a normal man, and when he returns to the ethereal sea, they will see each other again. So Oshan becomes Derek once again. Following this, your group decides to keep the story of what happened under wraps and consult the Sharlayan forum on what information is safe to share. Derek gathers the literal hopes and dreams of the gods, which I personally believe is a condensed bundle of Dynamis and wants to place them among mankind. So your group heads to the Sanctum of the 12 within the East Shroud, where Derek says a few words about the 12 and the Watcher. Then he places their hopes within the Sanctum. Following this, your group heads to Limsa Lominsa, where they split up, with Cryo, Graha, and Snogim heading back to Sharlayan, while Derek, the baby Oppo, and you head towards the bridge named Ashan's Embrace. After inspecting the monument of his namesake, you and Derek say your goodbyes as he goes on to explore the world as you go on to continue your adventures. And that is the end of the Myths of the Realm. If you want to see more timeline videos like this one, or video essays like the one on screen, like, comment, and subscribe with notifications turned on. But with that being said, it's been Skips, and I'm out.